As I approach the squat rack, I take a moment to set my focus. The cold metal of the barbell feels firm beneath my fingers. I position myself, ensuring that the barbell is at chest level, and I can easily lift it off the supports. I reach out and grip the bar with a slightly wider than shoulder-width grasp. The knurling on the bar provides a rough, textured sensation against my palms, ensuring a firm grip. Before lifting, I take a deep breath and feel the expansion of my lungs, grounding myself. Rolling my shoulders back, I slide them under the bar to let it rest on my upper traps. This area of my back compresses slightly under the load, and I become acutely aware of the bar's weight, creating a sensation of pressure and readiness. As I prepare to unrack, I tighten my core muscles, feeling a belt of tension wrapping around my midsection. With a deep inhale, I brace my core and push up with my legs to lift the bar off the rack. The weight makes me more grounded, and there's an immediate awareness of the increased load on my entire body. Taking a step or two back to clear the rack, I position my feet shoulder-width apart, toes pointing slightly outward. The weight of the bar on my back feels heavy but stable, urging me to maintain an erect and strong posture. My entire body feels more alert due to the added weight, and every muscle is primed for action. I begin my descent into the squat. As I lower myself, I can feel my quadriceps, hamstrings, and glutes working, their fibers contracting with added intensity to control the weight. My core and lower back muscles remain engaged as they work to protect my spine. Descending into the squat, my quads and hamstrings feel the tension, but handle it with confidence. The press of the bar on my back is a constant reminder to keep my chest up and spine neutral. Rising, my muscles engage smoothly, driving me back to a standing position with a controlled exhale. 1. I've found my rhythm. My descent is controlled, feeling the slight stretch in my inner thighs and the squeeze in my glutes. There's warmth building in my legs, an early hint of the work they're undertaking. Pushing up, there's a consistent engagement of my quads and glutes, each fiber working in harmony. 2. The challenge becomes more noticeable. My breaths are deeper, more deliberate, fueling my muscles. The bar's weight feels a touch heavier, urging my core to engage further, feeling like a tightened corset around my waist. The ascent requires a bit more effort, a subtle push as I near the top. 3. A mild burn begins to creep into my thighs. My calves and feet press firmly into the ground, grounding me as I lower myself. The weight on my back feels like it's pushing me deeper into the squat, but my leg muscles resist, contracting with determination. Rising up, there's a moment where I tap into my reserves to reach full standing. 4. This final rep of the set feels like a testament to my training. The challenge is evident. My muscles are working hard, and I can feel them straining slightly under the load. My breath syncs with my movement, inhaling as I descend, exhaling with a push as I stand. The burn in my legs is undeniable, but not overwhelming, signaling the work they've done, but also the capacity for more. 5. With my first set complete, I step forward with care, re-racking the bar. The immediate relief is palpable as the weight releases from my back. Taking a few moments, I breathe deeply, feeling the accelerated rhythm of my heart and the warmth enveloping my muscles. This set was challenging, but there's a lingering energy, an understanding that the real test lies ahead. I step back up to the bar, taking a few more moments than before, mentally prepping for the second set. My muscles still echo the work from the first set, a warm sensation prevalent in my thighs and glutes. Gripping the bar again, I can feel the familiar texture, but this time, the anticipation is accompanied by knowledge of the impending strain. With the bar settled on my back, the weight feels instantly more pronounced than before. My descent into the squat is a touch slower, my muscles reminding me of their prior exertions. There's a deeper warmth in my quads, and the stretch in my inner thighs feels more intense. As I push upwards, I sense a greater demand on my muscles, and they respond with a concerted effort, bringing me to an upright position. 1. My breathing is notably heavier now, each inhale bringing much-needed oxygen. The weight challenges my descent, but determination drives me down. My glutes feel like they're bearing the brunt of the load, contracting hard to control the movement. The ascent feels like a battle midway, but a surge of strength in my quads propels me upwards. 2. The sensation in my legs is a mix of warmth and a creeping burn. My core feels like it's working overtime to keep me stable, each muscle group cinching tighter. I'm more conscious of my form, ensuring my knees don't buckle, and my chest stays lifted. Pushing up from the squat's depth feels like pushing through a barrier, each inch upward, a testament to grit. 3. Fatigue becomes a tangible adversary. Every fiber in my legs feels awake, some even shouting their protests. My calves and feet feel rooted to the ground, providing a much-needed anchor. The upward movement is a grind, my glutes and hamstrings working in tandem, pulling with all they've got. 4. This rep feels like the climax of this set. My descent is cautious but determined. I can almost feel each muscle fiber straining and contracting. The weight on my back seems to urge me to stay down, but with a deep exhale and a surge of willpower, I push up, my quads and glutes burning, driving me up to stand tall once more. 5. After this rep, with my muscles pulsing and heart racing, I carefully return the bar to the rack. The weight off my shoulders brings an immediate, though temporary, sense of relief. My breathing is labored, deep inhales and exhales echoing the intensity of the set. Sweat forms a thin layer on my skin, and there's a profound awareness of the work done and the challenge that still awaits in the final set. I stare at the rack with a mix of respect and determination. My body is noticeably fatigued. The once cold bar is now warm where I grip it. My muscles pulsate with a blend of exhaustion and anticipation. Each breath is a deliberate attempt to bring in more oxygen and steel my resolve. There is a tinge of fear. I step forward and unrack the bar. It feels as though the weight has merged with me. I take a moment before descending, mentally bracing. The first descent feels like wading through water, a hostile resistance with every inch. As I push up, there's a feeling of my muscles digging deep, tapping into reserves I didn't know I had. 1. Breathing is more labored now, every exhale resonating with effort. The burning sensation in my quads and glutes is pronounced, like a fire stoked with every movement. There's a momentary pause at the bottom, gathering strength, then a concerted, powerful drive upwards, feeling each muscle group contributing to the ascent. 2. The fatigue is evident, but so is my resolve. My core feels like a fortress, holding firm despite the strain. The downward motion is slower, more deliberate, ensuring form isn't compromised. Rising feels like moving against a strong current, but with a gritted determination, I reach the top, even if it's with a slightly prolonged effort. 3. There's a clear realization of the limit approaching. Every fiber in my legs screams for reprieve, but the end is in sight. The descent is a mix of control and surrender, feeling the depth of the squat keenly. The push upward is haphazard, with a moment where it feels almost insurmountable. But a surge of adrenaline and sheer will drives me upright. 4. The final rep is both a battle and a victory lap. My body is fully aware this is it, and there's a surge of determination. Descending into the squat, I soak in every sensation, every protest, and every ounce of strength. The bar feels heaviest now, almost like a part of me. Rising up, every ounce of remaining energy is channeled into this last push. When I finally stand, it's with a rush of relief, pride, and accomplishment. Gently, with respect for the journey just taken, I re-rack the bar, the weight lifting both physically and mentally. My breaths are deep, almost ragged, and sweat drips freely, evidence of the monumental effort. As I step back, my muscles throb with a mix of pain and pride, and there's a deep sense of satisfaction, knowing I've given it my all. Standing a few paces away from the squat rack, I take a moment to reflect. Physically, there's an undeniable weightiness to my legs, a testament to the strain they've just endured. Yet, beyond the physical, there's a profound mental transformation. There's a clarity, a sense of triumph, that seems to wash over the fatigue. The weight on the bar was not just a physical challenge, but a mental one. With each rep and each set, I didn't just push my body, but I pushed my mind, breaking barriers of doubt and limits of perceived strength. The voice that whispered, "It's too heavy," or "I can't," was steadily drowned by the louder chorus of, "One more rep, and I got this." As I walk away, there's a heightened sense of self-awareness. The world outside seems a bit brighter, sharper, as if the lens of perception has been cleaned. The weight lifted wasn't just on the bar, but was also the weight of self-doubt and perceived limitations. Today, I didn't just train my body. I strengthened my spirit, fortified my resolve, and emerged not just as a stronger athlete, but as a more resilient individual.